Today we're breaking down a brutal, unspoken truth about wealth in Western societies. After covering your sky-high taxes, rent, car payment, and that unshakable student loan every month, you might be left with less than $500 in your bank account. Yet that blue-collar guy who just drove past your apartment in a beat-up pickup truck, his clothes caked in mud or who knows what other suspicious grime, he could easily be pulling in over $150,000 a year, is completely debt-free, and might even own 2 single-family rental homes in the suburbs. Sound like a reality check that's making you question everything? In a society brainwashed by social media, we're taught that a corner office in a fancy high-rise is the gold standard of success. But the real-world rules of wealth distribution? They love playing jokes that'll make you laugh through the cringe. Today, let's ditch that debt-fueled fake designer suit, get comfortable, and break down 4 blue-collar jobs in the West that people look down on, even avoid entirely, but that pays so well, it'll make your head spin. 1. Master plumber. For most people, the stereotype of a plumber is a gruff guy hunched under a sink, banging around with a wrench, and maybe even accidentally showing a little too much plumber's crack. If a kid told their middle-class parents they wanted to be a plumber when they grew up, those parents would probably need an oxygen tank right then and there. But let's look at the real numbers. Folks, in the West, this job is an absolute stealth money printer. Picture this nightmare scenario. It's the night before Thanksgiving. It's 10 degrees below zero, and your basement sewer line just burst. Nasty raw sewage is flooding your brand new $20,000 home theater at 5 gallons a minute. Are you really going to comparison shop like you're buying shoes on Amazon? Hell no. The second you call Stickman Plumber Tom, he's already making money before he even leaves his shop. Holiday emergency service fees alone can hit $200, $300 up front. And once he's on site and starts the repair, his hourly rate typically ranges from $150 to $250. He might spend 2 hours replacing a $30 section of pipe, then hand you an $800 bill without blinking an eye, and you'll still be thanking him profusely while you hand him a hot coffee. While white-collar workers are pulling all-nighters in office towers, buried under $50,000 in student loans. Tom never went to college, didn't pay a dime in tuition, got his master plumbing license early, and cruises to financial freedom, making $150,000 to $200,000 a year out of his tool-stocked work van. 2. Elevator mechanic. Next up, the hidden king of the concrete jungle, the elevator mechanic. Every single day, hordes of suited white-collar workers step into elevators on Wall Street or in London's financial district, riding them up to their sky-high offices. Yet almost none of them realize that the mechanic in the dark, deep elevator shaft, his coveralls caked in grease, makes far more money than most of the financial analysts riding in that car. The secret to this job's massive paycheck? Its ultra-high technical bar, life-threatening risks, and unbreakable union monopoly. Modern elevator systems are incredibly complex, and a single misstep in that bottomless elevator shaft can be fatal, which is why the hazard pay is through the roof. What's more, Western governments have near-rigorous laws around elevator safety. Regular maintenance and annual inspections are mandatory. That means demand for this work will never dry up. Add to that powerful unions that strictly control how many licenses are issued, and you've got an artificial extreme shortage of skilled labor. A fully certified mechanic starts at a base salary of $100,000 a year, but the real windfall comes from emergency calls. Picture this. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. 3 claustrophobic billionaires are trapped in an elevator on the 30th floor of a luxury high-rise, and the property management will pay whatever it takes to get someone out there immediately. The second stickman mechanic Mike takes that call, he's earning double, even triple time. With a roster of regular maintenance contracts and non-stop emergency calls, making $200,000 a year is just par for the course for these guys. They're the undisputed kings of vertical transportation in the city. Number 3. Biohazard and crime scene cleaner. This is hands down the most stigmatized job on the list, the kind of career you'd never bring up at a dinner party. On TV, the story ends when police and coroners remove the body. But in real life, who's left to clean up the horrific mess? That's where this incredibly niche, insanely profitable industry comes in. If someone asks what you do for work and you say, I go into people's homes to clean up brain matter and decomposing bodily fluids, You'll probably kill the conversation at the entire dinner table instantly. But that exact physical and psychological barrier, the kind that would give most people months of nightmares just from seeing it, is what creates the perfect moat for this industry. It doesn't require a college degree, just nerves of steel and a cast iron stomach. Cleaners have to suit up in full, airtight hazmat suits, strip out contaminated flooring, and disinfect with industrial-grade chemicals in some of the most horrific conditions imaginable. Because 99.9% of people would rather quit their job and live in a box than do this work, that 0.1% who will do it have absolute pricing power. And here's the kicker, folks. The bill is almost always footed by deep-pocketed home insurance companies. When you're dealing with insurance companies that just want the job done and closed as fast as possible, a standard cleanup can run thousands of dollars. For more severe scenes, the bill can easily hit $10,000 to $20,000. Business owners who run their own cleaning companies can pull in $200,000 to $300,000 a year just for tolerating what most people can't even stand to look at, then turn around and spend their days in a beach house on a sunny coast. It's the most ironic yet fairest deal capitalism has to offer. 4. Underwater welder number 4. The ultimate high-paying, high-stakes job that's not just dirty and backbreaking, it's a constant dance with death. We're talking about underwater welders, the special forces of the blue-collar world. Welding on land is backbreaking enough. These men and women suit up in heavy diving gear, plunge into the freezing, pitch-black, fast-moving depths of the ocean, and drag high-voltage cables to repair offshore oil rigs and nuclear power facilities. Underwater, you're forcing two deadly enemies, electricity and water, together. A single tear in your suit, an underwater bubble explosion, or a bad case of decompression sickness can kill you in an instant. This isn't just selling your labor, this is legally selling your life risk. Because of the shockingly high mortality rate and brutal working conditions, their pay is structured entirely around just how high the stakes are for every dive. The deeper the dive, the more dangerous the conditions, the more exponentially their pay skyrockets. A top-tier underwater welder can make $1,000 to $2,000 a day on an offshore rig. While physical limits mean they can only work around 6 to 8 months a year, the money they make in those few months easily tops $200,000. For these underwater daredevils, social status means nothing. All they care about is that every second they hold their breath underwater sends waves of cash into their bank account. With nothing but raw courage, they're earning more money than most people will make in their entire lives. As we wrap up this eye-opening deep dive into these jobs, the real question we should be asking is, what even is the so-called wealthy mindset that so many people fixate on? The social career hierarchy we're all taught? It's nothing but an absurd lie. It uses superficial respectability to mask financial fragility. True wealth creation never depends on whether your office has air conditioning, or whether you wear a tie or a hard hat to work. At its core, wealth is your ability to solve complex, high-risk, high-scarcity problems. Those high-earning blue-collar workers in the West, with their grease-stained hands, have taught us a critical lesson. Let go of cheap vanity. Stop trapping yourself in consumer debt and anxiety just to keep up the facade of middle-class respectability. So next time you see a manual laborer doing the dirty, back-breaking work no one else wants to do, don't look at them with misplaced pity. Their bank account balance could very well be higher than yours and your boss's combined. If this video flipped your entire perspective on success and wealth, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And drop a comment down below. Which of these 4 jobs would you be willing to take for the massive pay? See you.